Hi guys, it's me, Like Money Hat. Got this on my weekend adventure. It is my 10-year anniversary with my husband. It's coming up in a couple weeks. So he had a work thing down in Texas, and he swept me along with him to go play trophy wife. And it was really fun at a private ranch. And I got a hat and I got some boots, and I ran around Texas, as you can see from Strava, and it was a whole lot of fun. And we got back later this afternoon after driving through a snowstorm. Not really sure we were going to make it back. We almost got stuck in Pueblo. And then only to realize that I can't find the documents for tonight. I corresponded with Sarah Seberg all afternoon. And y'all, I got to tell you, this is 100% her fault. I'm just kidding. No, it's so not her fault. It's mine. It is 100% my fault. Sarah and I were in contact, but you see, they're little people that are trying to get my attention and have been since I got home. Come on in. And I got my window to talk with her and confirm that I did not, in fact, have the documents I needed for Ask Away. Was closed. She is doing something really important because I can't get in touch with her, so I don't have the questions for tonight. And I apologize. It's my fault. But I will tell you this. I got a great hat. I got great kids. One of them is 6. This one is older than that. And I'm sorry to waste your time. I'm not going to waste much more of it. I just wanted to let you know that I'm here and I'm paying attention. I just don't have the questions to pay attention to. But as soon as I have them in my hot little hands, I'm going to come back and we're going to chat. Okay? That's what's going to happen. You've not been forgotten. I just screwed up. And I own my mistakes. That's how we learn. We admit our mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Yep. What's something you learned this weekend? That's okay.
That jumping on mommy and daddy's bed is fun.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing to know. What else did you learn? You made a mistake, didn't you? You can tell them about it. They've all done it.
No, I don't want to tell the mistake, and I don't like to hear about it.
It's okay. It's okay. We don't have to. Hey, man, I make mistakes too. And right now on the inside, I feel just like you do because I made a mistake and I don't have what I need to do in order to do my job tonight. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay.
Well, I don't like talking about it.
You don't have to talk about it, but I can talk. Can we talk about my mistake? You want to come here and tell me that it's okay that I made a mistake? Because I made a mistake. Sure. And you know what else you want to tell them how to make a dessert?
What dessert?
What?
Dessert?
Yes.
Dessert?
That dessert.
I have some left over for you in the fridge.
I know, and I already told you I had some of it, and it was amazing, and I was waiting for you to eat the rest of it.
Yummy.
Because we don't let a mistake ruin our weekend, right?
No.
Not at all. Tell you a mistake that our nanny made. So we walked out the door. This is the fun true story of the weekend, and why we're all a little discombobulated at the moment. It's because our house smells like.
No, I don't like that story.
I wasn't going to tell that story. I was going to tell them about the flood.
Oh, that.
Oh, that story, because that wasn't your mistake. That wasn't your mistake. All right, so my husband's like, happy anniversary. We're going to Texas. I'm like, is that your way of telling me you want a divorce? Not real sure. We tried Texas before. It didn't work for me. Too many mosquitoes and too hot. I need 4 seasons or I lose it. So as the morning, we wake up to walk out the door, and it snows so much, school's canceled. They get a snow day. So we call Nanny and say, guess what? You got all the kids at home. There's nowhere to go. But they don't have to go to school. Yay!
But we do have to do homeschooling.
But they did have to do homeschooling. And I'm like, you know what? If it's a snow day, it should be a snow day. There should be no work. There should be no school. None of this remote learning nonsense. It's like giving your kids a BlackBerry. Would you do that? No. Why?
Give your kid a BlackBerry. That's yummy. Blackberries are yummy.
That is what I used to say about my phone, my BlackBerry phone. I can't find it.
Oh, that BlackBerry. Not like the blackberry fruit. Oh.
No, exactly. All right. So as we walk out the door, there's a snow day, and there's no hot water. And so we're calling to have the hot water heater. They assure us that they're going to come 1 p.m.
Can I tell the story?
Well, I got to do this quickly because I think I've got to have this, and then I got to get to work. All right. So so the heater people are coming to replace the hot water heater. As we're walking out the door, they assure us everything's going to be fine. Well, spoiler alert, it wasn't, because as soon as the nanny went to run laundry, they found out that they had not reinstalled the exodus
Actually,
for the
they
water.
did find out. Miss Haley did, because she was the one who put the laundry in the washing machine. She closed it like about sometime later. She came back, she opened the door, and the whole laundry room was about 2 inches flooded.
2 inches flooded. So our nanny has a snow day, no hot water, and 2 inches of water in the basement where the kids sleep and the furnace to the house is. And water rising while my husband and I are screaming while driving through spotty connectivity, trying to get somebody back to fix it. I got to quit. Go on.
That was because since the hot water heater wasn't working, the drain, instead of all the water draining out into the pipes, all the water drained outside of the laundry machine, and it flooded the whole room. So
perfect. All right, I just got this from Sarah, so I have the questions now, and we're on fuego, and we're gonna go. So yeah, after a weekend full of fun that started with a snow day, was continued with a flood, and then turned into a fire that our nanny set.
No, I don't like that.
I wasn't telling about your mistake. The fire that she set.
The one with the plug?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. So someone accidentally put...
Miss Haley, what?
She didn't put it on there. I know who did.
Okay.
It was me.
Oh.
Because I was going to grab Violet's passy for her, but then I knocked down a couple of chargers, and one of the chargers fell on top of a candle that was lit. And then probably a few moments later, while I was talking to Grandmama, I went over back there. I saw, actually Miss Haley did. I was talking to Grandmama, and then Miss Haley went there and saw the plug on top of the candle. She flipped it over, and she saw the plastic was burned and was sort of in a circle shape. Thankfully, the electric parts didn't burn, because that could have made an actual fire in the house. But
all's well that ends well.
Yeah.
It's fine. It was an accident, and we're over it. It's totally fine. Now, I got to do this, and I got to work, okay? Because I've got my questions. So can I ask my questions, and then you go wait for me on the bed? I'll be right in there.
Can I watch my show on your bed?
Unless your daddy said not to. Did your daddy say not to?
No, he just said to turn it off downstairs so the little kids could agree on what they want.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and get me.
And I also wanted to show you I found a cool guacamole recipe.
Yay, I love guacamole. Now go get in the bed. Let me do this, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, okay?
I'll show it to you later.
Yeah, you will. Thank you. And welcome to long last. My bad, completely. Welcome to Ask Away with Coach MK. All your burning questions answered. We're going to start off as we usually do. Cheyenne, honey, you got to learn to shut the door when you walk through an open door, and then you walk out the door. You need to shut the aforementioned door. Sorry. Thank you. It affects the sound. Appreciate it. Sorry. Here we go. All right. So we're going to start with, I know she's really big, right? She's huge. She's like 9 and something, and I'm not over it. And yeah, there were a couple of fires in the house this weekend, which is why we had to light some candles to get the smell out, and then caught the candles on fire and dropped things in the candles. It was a big old mess, and the nanny ran out of here screaming when we walked through the door, and that's fine. Not because kids, just because it was like she was afraid there was a plague of locusts coming next, and I can't blame her. But there we go. So we're going to start with the weekly wins. We're going to count up everybody's weekly wins. And I still have a house that is not on fire. We have hot water and a heater and no water in the basement. So that is winning at life as far as I'm concerned. I've got the questions in my hand. Yay! That's not a bad place to start. In Rebuild, Christian Frazier. I woke up yesterday and wanted to go for a run. I don't remember the last time I felt that way. Couldn't change the plans I had, so I was really excited when I woke up this morning and felt the same way. Slow but steady, easy 30, at my beloved Stevens Lake. I can't even begin to tell you how happy and excited I am. I can't begin to tell you how happy and excited I am for you. The first run I'd had in a while, I had over the weekend too. And I was really excited to run with all that oxygen in my lungs because yay, Texas. But I forgot one of the reasons that made Texas so hard to live in during the winter. When it's finally cool enough to go outside, you can't see because of fog. And I was soaking wet within a few seconds of stepping out the door, and cold, not because it was raining, but because fog that you couldn't see more than a foot ahead of you, fog that does not burn off. So if you were outside, excited to be there and not drowning then you are winning at life. So way to go, Christian Fraser. Way to go. Christine Lancaster, working today to rest, reset my nervous system, so to speak. It's quickly becoming apparent that my family is contributing so much to my tension levels, or at least my reaction to my family. We feel you. I feel you real strong right now. Let me tell you. Christine, you are seen. You're also coached and loved and winning at life. And you're doing all the right things, man. It's amazing how connected our minds and bodies actually are. I know it sounds really hokey to talk about it, and I'm not sure when it became cool to completely ignore the science or the fact that it's that the two are intertwined and that mental health is a real thing. And if you can't just push through it, both mentally and physically, then you are de facto weak. That's not how it works. It's never been how it works. I am really proud of you for treating yourself the way you deserve to be treated, for respecting the signs that your body's giving you. Because you know what? If we listen to our bodies when they whisper, we won't have to manage it when they scream. So I'm proud of you for managing your body, even especially in those moments when you probably want to scream. Alicia Budd says, so much yes to this. It's my baby's 8th birthday today, so I got a medium long run in before starting a day of sugar consumption and celebrating him. Have to wonder, was that the same day that my Shiloh turned 6? Oh, a lot of babies around here that aren't acting like babies anymore, and I don't like it. Erin, new mom, Coach Erin Harkness says, baby Brighton and I walked to the end of my cul-de-sac and back today. After a week in the maternity ICU, plus almost another week at home on full bed rest, I was finally cleared for some light activity today. My walk was so slow, and definitely one of the hardest walks of my life, and I had to rest afterwards, but it was sunny and warm and absolutely glorious. I'm looking forward to building up to being able to walk for 30 minutes as I can start to rebuild when I'm allowed. Yay! We're excited to have you with us, Erin. We're excited to see baby Brighton. If you have not yet been on Instagram, go to Fitness Protection LLC, and you will see baby Brighton. His big old eyes are right there waiting for you today, posted by Coach Nakia. Thank you for helping us out with the Instagram, Coach Nakia, and thank you for sharing your beautiful boy with all of us, Coach Erin. Amanda Blockinger Bailey says, happily, I shook myself loose from my bed and got my fantastic run in before everyone awoke. I'm sorry, that was my brain just smarted. I hate it when that happens. I've been struggling to get up lately, and I was rewarded with a lovely run in the early AM, not even raining. Even better, it's Chipotle fundraiser night for my kids' school, so burritos for dinner. I had Chipotle for dinner tonight, and I gotta say, I'm a fan of their new cauliflower rice. Making cauliflower rice, not so much. That stuff falls apart. I don't know if you've seen my culinary amazingness. It doesn't exist. So I've tried to make rice and cauliflower rice, and it doesn't work out so well. But you know what? They know what they're doing over there at Chipotle. So I hope that your night was as good as my dinner today. Here we go. Some more wins. Karina Halterian maintain. I had a long run, a nice run. I was in the zone and it felt good. That's great. I'm happy for you. Brenda Haskell. I grabbed time for 35 minutes of avocado toast. Best I could muster. That's plenty. Long day meetings ahead, but I'm going to stand on my Bosu ball as often as possible. Weekend fun. Skiing tomorrow and relaxing and disconnecting. We hope you got to do all of that in that order, Brenda. And judging from your Instagram, looks like you did. Amy Wilson did an easy 130 heart rate run on the treadmill. When she first started heart rate training, I hated these runs. I could barely do 140, let alone 130. But today, I felt it was what I needed, and then I foam rolled, and I felt really good. I forgot about the value of the 130 run, which we are going to talk about a little bit later. Congratulations, Amy Wilson. That's growth. Love it. Kathleen Harden. I ran outside for the first time this month. We've been below 40 for the last almost 60 days, so I wasn't missing out on the first nice day. I went out with my munchkin and the pups after work. And I believe we have a photo of that on Instagram as well. Yay! Melissa Stewart. I ran 8 miles today outside with partly sunny skies. It was 50 degrees when I finished. Even though I fell twice on uneven sidewalks, and tore my running tights. Boo! It felt glorious. I'd forgotten what running outside in the daylight could do for my mood. Daylight is everything. You guys, hair is everything. Anthony, let me tell you about daylight. Daylight's wonderful. We're out of it at the moment, and I've got a new light that is supposed to simulate sunlight. I'm going to be clipping to my computer relatively soon, and hopefully that will be making me a little bit sunnier too. But I tell you, if you do have access to one of those sun lamps, it's worth getting your hands on. We have one that wakes us up in the morning and one that acts like sunset and helps put us to bed at night, and it makes a huge difference. Dan Felton, wowzers, Wednesday's run this month, the hardest workout ever actually was. And then I made it even harder today with an extra 15 minutes. Yikes! Why would you make anything harder, Dan? Life is so hard as it is, especially now that you're a dad to something small. You know what hard work actually is. You also understand why running is crucial. Getting out of the house and running away sometimes may be the only thing that saves you. Francine Scheller took advantage of the sunshine this morning and ran 5, then walked 1.5 with the dogs. Nice. Our dirt road thawed some and was pretty sloppy. Dan is a beast. You have no idea, Sarah. I'm telling you. I know this guy. Guessing that's Dan, and yes, you are. So here are the questions in Rebuild. Can you remind me? That is a Daniel Tiger roar. I love Daniel Tiger. You know, Tiger King, actually, I think we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Tiger King. So is it a Daniel Tiger roar or a Tiger King roar? We passed by on our drive. I got to tell this too. On our drive, we passed by a place called Sonora Trophy Hunts. And I became obsessed because I'm like, oh, in Texas, this is probably one of those private killing places that we were reading about, that we were learning about in Tiger King. So animals that were bred to be shot so people could pretend to hunt them in Texas. And that is actually not what Sonora Trophy Hunts does. But it thought it when I started getting the reminders. A year ago today, you posted this Tiger King meme. And I'm like, oh, that was amazing. And that was such a great period. We had no idea what lay ahead. And we were still able to find joy because we weren't totally bombarded and overloaded with stress yet. And we had yet to see exactly how bad the coronavirus is going to get. We could still laugh about it and say, if that ain't real, well, now we know a year later, Corona's real and we forgot about Tiger King. So if you need some entertainment, I say go dig it out. Because I don't know about you, but I can't handle any more Daniel Tiger today. I had to watch 3 episodes of it with my kids on my lap when I got home. So can you remind me of the specifics of what's needed to make my own foam roller with PVC pipe? What diameter pipe, what kind of tape do I wrap around it, etc.? All right, so when it comes to a foam roller, that there's kind of a misnomer there, because what we're trying to do is mobilize the tissues underneath. Specifically, your shins are the most important. So if you've ever gotten manicure, watch my fingers, yeah, they probably rubbed your forearm, played it like a guitar, and then all of your fingers like involuntarily curl. And it's like, ooh, that's so funny. That same thing should happen with your toes when you rub your shins, because all of those toe muscles and toe tendons actually connect at the ankle and then extend up to your knee, the same way your finger tendons connect to your wrist and then extend to your elbows. So if you cannot do that with your toes, we need to mobilize. And that is happening with PVC pipe. If ever you've never foam rolled, it's probably because your foam roller is the consistency of a pool noodle. And when you get on it, you're like, I don't see the point. And fair enough, you don't see the point because you're not mobilizing anything when you're on a pool noodle. So get your booty over to Home Depot in the plumbing department and get yourself a PVC 2x6, 2 feet long by 6 inches diameter riser pipe. Then on your way out, grab yourself some sports tape, the cheapest stuff they got, nothing fancy. I grabbed pink because it was on sale that day. So I got this big old white riser pipe that's covered in Pepto-Bismol pink tape because it was $1 each, because it took about 3 rolls to wrap it around. Now, the purpose the tape serves is to give it some purchase against the floor, some friction, so that don't go shooting out from behind you and popping small children in the face like mine did the first time I used a foam roller on a carpeted floor. Cheyenne has recovered from the shock since then. She was only a few months old at the time. I have not. So I ask you to put tape around it for that reason. If you really want to put $120 worth of KT tape on there, you do you. That's cool. But it's not going to be any different or better or more special or just more expensive than what I'm asking you to do, which is grab the cheapest stuff they got and put it around it, because it's going to be rough. It's going to have some traction, and that's really all we need it to do is put some traction and friction between the roller and your skin, your roller and your wicking running clothes, which tend to be pretty slick, and either the carpeted or a hardwood floor so it doesn't go flying out from behind you. And that way, it's also not making it so soft that you're not getting the massage that you need to be getting when you put hard parts of your body on that much harder cold foam roller. That's how I do it. Maintain. Can you explain the value of the 130 run or the recovery run? Okay. So the way the body works is this. If you think about the order of operations that you probably learned when you were younger, when your body is in motion, let's back up. When your body's asleep and you're resting, it's repairing all the damage that had been done throughout the day in ways big and small. Some things are more important to your body than others. Anything that's critical to survival, for example, is going to be highest priority. Muscle repair, it's not the highest. That's why we need the cool down at the end of the run. Here's why. When your body's in motion and those muscles are working, they are the priority. They're going to get the maximum blood flow, the maximum oxygen. And when we know that when you are working, and that kind of work level is roughly around 100, like that is your body from rest to work, sort of that switch flips somewhere around 100 beats per minute for most people. It goes from work to really hard work, glucose producing work, somewhere around 135 to 140. And we like that. It could happen higher, but we want to stay well below that point where you're using more oxygen than glucose. And for most humans, if you're at 140, you are safely beneath that threshold. Okay, we can do all the calculations we want. The calculations for the heart rate zones are all contingent upon maximum heart rate, and there's no way to actually know what yours is unless we test it, because your heart's a muscle. If we rep it to failure, you die, right? So we don't need to approximate it. If we can just sort of throw out the exactness of needing to break your heart and say, you know what, good enough's pretty darn great. We can use the guidelines that we know kick off the critical functions. Above 180, your body cannot metabolize any oxygen for most people. Around 140, most people at all ages are using more glucose than oxygen. So let's stay well below that. Around 100, your body still thinks it, or under 100, your body thinks it's still at rest. And here's the difference. When your body is in motion and working, those two conditions are met, you're using your muscles in order to do that, so they are going to get the maximum repair and the maximum oxygen for recovery. So that is the purpose of a recovery run. Yes, you will recover sitting on the couch, but your muscles will recover more if you are walking or if you are jogging lightly with the heart rate under 130, which is again well below, definitely below that working threshold. So that is the purpose of the recovery run. It is literally more oxygen to your muscles. It is literally more recovery. And if you are not, and I hate the word just, I'm just walking, you're still active recovering. Yay, you're getting exactly what you need. And you can do that on a walk. You can do that on a bike. You can do that in the water. Well, I don't know. I hate to say that swimming is hard. Plus, you got to maintain your body temperature. There's a lot that goes on when you swim and you actually put your body in the water. It can be a lot. I don't want to say like it's a perfect one for one. What I want you to know, what you need to know, what's important to know is that this is a good way to accelerate recovery if you follow the guidelines. It can also be a great way to set yourself back, because the magic of the workout is the cool down. The magic of the training comes from recovering. If you don't take time to recover, you're not rebuilding, because when we work out, we tear our muscles, and then when we rest, we rebuild those muscles stronger. If anything, we should all be about more recovery and more rest than about more reps, more hard stuff, because that hard stuff is just going to break you, and then you'll think you're weak, and you aren't. I know exactly how much strength it took you to get here. For some of you, I know how much strength it took to get through this day. Plague locust coming, anybody? 2 fires in your house. Yay! Do it. That is what the recovery run is like. 1 second. Yeah, girl, I'm in the middle of a live stream. Don't worry about it. Private to my clients. Go ahead and take 30 minutes if you want, and then call me when you're done. Call or Zoom. I'm good either way. You decide. Back. Yay. All right. So, hey, coach, I really hate all the fuel products out there and have been using candy on my long runs. Yeah, but what kind? Snickers? Ice cream Snickers? Y'all, in Texas, we stopped at a gas station and I went in because I was just like, I don't know, I just want to see what gas stations have, which is really funny, right? Because I never go into gas stations unless I'm on a road trip. So I went into the gas station to see what they had and was like, ice cream Snicker bars. I haven't seen those since I was a child. They got bigger and sweeter and deliciouser. And I'm happy. Woo. Anyway, so I hope that's what you've been using as candy as fuel on your long run there. Is there any downside to this that you could see? I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Also, if I was to use candy, what form would be best? Hard candy, jelly beans, thoughts on Peeps. I love Peeps. I prefer Peeps dunked in hot cocoa, or rather dropped in hot cocoa and then drowned real good. That's what I do. But I know that there's a lot of ultra runners I know love the jelly beans and the hard candy. The reason I don't is because I have a little bit of an overbite, and I tend to bite the inside of my lip right there. I've got a place that's recovering from a salad that went wrong the other night. I tend to, if I'm in motion, I might be a little bit dehydrated or a little bit drier in the mouth than usual, and will bite the inside of my cheeks. So I don't like hard candy, and I don't like chewing things when I run. And I really, really hate anything with sugar in my mouth because it makes me thirstier, or at least more aware of the thirsty I already have or am experiencing. And the amount of water it would take to wash the sugary taste off my tongue and out my mouth was then sloshed around in my belly, because you got to remember your belly is the limiting factor. Your kidneys can only process maybe 8 ounces of liquid over the course of an hour at rest, which means we got to cut that in half while you're in motion. So if over the course of a marathon, you need to be sipping, not drinking. Of course, we're not doing a marathon right now. We're not racing. Hopefully, we're just talking about theoretically in a long run. I'm not opposed to any of this. All I can think of is the damage that would happen to my mouth. And I'm like, I would stick with Snickers ice cream because that doesn't have to be chewed a whole lot. Even better, some sort of an ice cream bar. We've got these keto ones from Costco that actually aren't terrible. I'm the sort of person, if I'm going to eat ice cream, I'm going to eat ice cream. I don't want light ice cream. I don't want Halo shit. I really don't like that brand. It tastes terrible. I like birthday cake everything. So you'd think a birthday cake gluten-free ice cream would get me excited. No, this stuff was bad. So I'm like, just give me the ice cream and give me the fat and give me the flavor so I can be satisfied and feel like I got what I wanted, rather than eat twice as much of something that tastes a quarter as good. And I'm like, why did I just do that? It wasn't worth it. So that's me. If it works for you and you're happy and you don't bite any part of you, I say stick with the candy. Fuck yeah. You're luckier than me and you're winning at life. I'll take it. Melted Snicker bar in the long run, gross. I know it. The idea of it kind of like while in motion turns my stomach. I would rather sit down and eat it personally. But that is me. Ditto on the lip bite. Yeah, it's not fun. It hurts. It's distracting. And then you talk real funny for the next few days because you don't want your teeth to rub up against a spot that you just bit on your lip. And there's no good way to put like anything on it. It's not like there are Band-Aids for your inner lip. It's annoying. Skittles. There you go. Skittles is fuel. There are beans like Honey Stinger, I think, makes little beans. I think you can tell I got this last minute, and that's my fault, not Sarah's, my fault. So I know that there are a variety of energy bean type candies out there. I just don't know what they are because I don't really use them off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I almost picked up Keto Ice Cream Bars, but halfway through Whole30, so it'll wait. If you love them, and you might, those Keto Ice Cream Bars don't have the density. Here's what it is. I'd like sweet and low in iced tea, but it has a tart, weird taste. And I know what I'm getting because, when you put sugar in cold tea, it just sits at the bottom. It doesn't distribute. So you got to use sweet and low unless you're actually making it on the stove, right? All Southern people, I know that. When it comes to Diet Coke versus Coca-Cola, yes, the Coca-Cola is really sugary and really heavy. I love it, but I can't even drink a whole one unless I'm putting rum in it, and that's a different story. But when I really just want the bubbles in my mouth, a Diet Coke I can take it or leave it because it's got that fake sugar flavor that I am not in love with. That fake sugar flavor that some people love, but I'm not real partial to, that's what the keto ice cream tastes like. It also didn't have that heavy, fatty taste that dairy has in your mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Like you get a bite of Ben & Jerry's and it's like your whole mouth is singing from just this fat sugar explosion. I did not get that from the keto bars. So ice cream gets me really excited, as you can tell. Those keto bars did not. And if I'm going to eat crap, it better be crap that gets me excited. Just saying. I need a better word than crap. Just I'm acknowledging it doesn't have any strong nutritional value, but there is a mental health value in making my mouth sing without my mouth actually making a sound. Jelly Belly makes sports beans. Yes, thank you. I was trying to remember. I know there are several brands. Go ahead and put them in the chat if there's something that you like. So if what you're doing is working, I say don't worry about it. If you're not having any of these side effects that I described and it isn't tearing your stomach up in some way, some form or fashion, then you're good. Keep winning at life and keep telling us and give us pictures of what you choose to eat. If it's something that rotates week by week, share the fun with us. We want to, and tag us on Instagram, tag Coach Nakia, tag me, tag Fitness Protection LLC, and you might find yourself in our stories because we share all that stuff. And yeah, fuck yeah, peeps, all the peeps, and chocolate covered marshmallows too, and chocolate colored everything. I like candy. I didn't used to. I didn't have a sweet tooth, and then Violet changed all that. So there's some hormone that must have been secreted to make that child that now has me loving sugar. And I'm like, yes, more of that. My question is about combining trail runs and running on pavement. Are there any issues with alternating the two throughout the week? Since we're not racing anytime soon, nope. Should my long runs be on one surface or the other? If you're racing, then the long run needs to imitate the surface of your event. But we're not racing anytime soon, right? So you do you. Go where your friends are. I do have separate shoes for each service. You know, that's important because there is an energy return that comes each time your foot strikes the pavement because it's dense and it's tightly packed. So it means third law of motion. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Boom, I just smarted it again. Love it when that happens. So each time your foot hits the ground, boom, there's an energy return back into your feet that can feel, when you're looking for it and you know what it feels like, it can feel really good. I live for that sensation when I go out. I don't like mixing the two terrains on a run because it makes me more aware of what I don't get on a trail, because I'm looking for that energy return and I find myself stomping, which is not real safe right now because all the trails are a little muddy from the most recent snowfall that has since melted. So we got a whole lot of mud. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not saying, so switching back and forth is not a problem, but training on trail is not going to adapt your tendons, joints, and ligaments to that pop-in energy return that's going to come if you're racing on a road. Your joints won't be adapted. It's why trail runners do road races and they're like, roads are hurting. They're so bad for you. It's like, well, your body isn't adapted to the demands of the road. No wonder. Come on. It's not hard. It's like running is running, but the surface matters too. Everyone likes to forget the golden rule of training, and that's your body needs to adapt to the sport that you're committed to racing to. And if you're not committed to a race, do what's fun, because that's the thing you're going to do consistently. But we don't know how to have fun anymore because it isn't fun to go out there and see that other people are faster or doing things without us and feel bad. That's one of the things I'm trying to fix with Fitness Protection and be like this space where everybody feels safe and good all the time, because you should. Why feel bad? Life is short. There are peeps waiting for you and Jelly Bellies and Snicker bars and me. Why could you be sad if you're doing this thing with me and the Snicker bar waiting for you? I mean, that's winning at life, no matter what Strava tells you. So turn the focus away. That's how I feel about that. If you like both, you can keep doing both. There's no danger to it. The only thing we have to worry about is being cognizant. Okay, I haven't run on a road in about 2 weeks. So today I'm running on a road. It might be a little more painful. I probably don't need to do accelerators or anything that would have me speeding up, because when we speed up, our foot's going to strike the ground harder, and that's all you need to know. Today's probably not going to feel great on my joints, but that's okay. That's the only thing to keep in mind is your expectation for the run and your expectation for the race. I would never say stay off the trails unless there's a rattlesnake, in which case, again, you do you. I hope you can afford the venom. Whew, I hate rattlesnakes. That's why I don't do trails around here. But as long as you keep those demands in mind and don't blame your body for not showing up to do this one thing that you haven't asked it to do in a while, that first run back might not be great, but don't read into it. Don't let it define you. And more than that, don't let it define the roads. It really breaks my heart when I hear trail runners dissing on the roads or road runners dissing on trails. They're two different sports. There's plenty of room for both. I know where my preference lies because I want to zone out of the run, and I can do that on a road. I can't do that when there's scree and downhills and uphills, and I'm so into what I'm doing that I forget to take in the atmosphere around me. But that's on me. That's not about the trail. That's not about the sport. That's about the mind of MK. And the mind of MK can totally zone out on a road in a way that it never will be able to fully on a trail. If I'm on a trail, I want to hike it and savor it and take it all in and shoot a rattlesnake if it comes out because, fuck you, rattlesnake. That's how I feel about that. So I think that answered your question. Hope it answered your question. And chocolate covered gummy bears. Yes, ma'am. Oh my Lord. I don't even know where you get those. Chocolate covered peeps. You know who could make them? Cheyenne. We might need to have a cooking show a la Cheyenne. She's been watching a whole lot of these YouTube demonstration videos lately, y'all, and it's the greatest thing in the whole wide world. When she set that first fire, it's because she was doing a demonstration video making the dessert that she asked me about. Bless her heart, she put plastic in the microwave. Everybody's done it, and she's so sad. And I get it, but I'm like, that's how you learn. You're never going to make that mistake again. While we're at it, let's not put metal in there or tin foil. It's going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. You do trails and run Love Bug Weekly. There you go. Love both. Love your body. And just, if it's been a while, if you've done one exclusively for a while, don't think too much about it. Doesn't need to be a 1-for-1 or trying to have ratios. Just be like, hey, for the past month I've been on trails. Today I'm running on a road. Noted. And adjust your expectations accordingly and back and forth. And that's really all I would ask you to do. Because the last thing I want is a road runner to be like, trails are hard. I'm never doing that again. You're going to miss out. Or a trail runner to be like, roads hurt. I'm never doing that again. Well, if you never do it again, it'll never feel good. Come on, y'all. Oh, yeah. Now send me the link. I would love to see that kid's cookbook. All right. So those are all the questions that we had. I'm going to end on one more really cool note. Thank you if you've waited this long. I've been dying to tell people this. And now I finally sort of can. I can't tell all that I know about it, but I can tell you this. Someone very close to me is going to be on The Voice. Her name is Riley, R-Y. Leigh, Riley Modig. And we know that she's made it pretty far in. She hasn't been cut yet. She's still filming in LA. And we are so excited about this. She's got a beautiful voice and she is a little different in ways that I think you might see. I can't, like I said, I don't know how much of her story she's going to share on national TV. But there's a reason that we're really close. And if you watch her and listen real carefully, you might be able to figure out what it is. She doesn't want to be pegged as this contestant or that contestant. She's just Riley who sings on The Voice. She has a beautiful voice and she's a wonderful, lovely girl. And I can say that she got bullied out of school a couple years ago. So we are so excited for her bullies to watch her shine on The Voice. Because she's made it through the first round. We got confirmation the other day that she's made it through the first few rounds of cuts. So the blind auditions start this week. They start tomorrow. I have no idea which episode she's actually going to be on. But I know that I will probably be live streaming and screaming and crying when she does. And trying to keep my mouth shut so I don't get in trouble saying things I'm not supposed to say about her. But she's a wonderful, 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 sweet, talented girl who is finally getting her moment in the sun, getting to write her story the way she wants to, not defined by the people around her for making fun of her differences. And I cannot wait to watch that happen. And if you are here, some of that must resonate with you because you might be here for similar, not the same reasons, but we are all feeling like outsiders in one way or another. The world can be a cruel, terrible place, and there is nothing more fun than wrapping ourselves around an underdog and watching them shine in front of Kelly Clarkson and John Legend. Yay. Remember, wax paper in the oven. Oh my God. I might need you to record a little voice memo about how that turned out for me to share with her. She'd appreciate it. Yay. All right, y'all. So there you go. Watch the voice, Riley Modig. Follow her on Instagram. Cheer as loud as you can. Just about, hopefully you can cheer for her as loudly as I cheer for all of you, even on the days that I'm late and screw up like I did tonight. You're coached. You are loved. Eat the peeps. Win at life.